It's time for today's Face-Off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face-Off on Fox Soul starts right now.
Is deployed to Haiti overnight to airlift U.S. embassy staff out of the country, and they've joined security forces to reinforce the embassy. And this as gangs have nearly overrun Haiti's capital, and the government's on the verge of collapse. Because the government has essentially lost all credibility and power, and now gangs are left to just impose their will on the people. And this as the U.S. has ruled out using troops to restore order to the nation like it has in the past, saying they are enabling and encouraging international partners to resolve it themselves. The U.S. has also called on the Prime Minister to commit to a transitional government and set up elections. Meanwhile, Haiti's been requesting foreign troops for over 2 years, and only really Kenya has answered that call.
In this round, here's Quan LX.
Charles, there's a terrible crisis, a humanitarian crisis, and an outright political one taking place in Haiti. The president has fled the country, the gangs have taken over, and the gangs have threatened that if he does not resign, what they would do, and it would be civil war, etc. They've been threatening all of the politicians and members of his own cabinet. And he reached out to the American government, the president himself, requesting assistance and help. They didn't give him what he asked for. I believe it's a shame what's taking place in Haiti. When you have a democratic elected government, elected by the people of Haiti, and street gangs, thugs, militia members can determine who the president of that country will be. I believe that if America claims to be a champion of democracy, why would she not send troops into Haiti to help restore the democratic elected government back to power? America does that often for white countries who go through the same thing, like Ukraine with the Russian invasion, like we saw in Crimea, given the assistance that was given to them. But I believe that we should have soldiers on the ground, even if it's just National Guard soldiers, to help restore power. To let gangs get away with this and take over a country, street gangs, and yet America claims they have friendly relations with Haiti, and that's the democratic elected government. I disagree with America on this.
You know, it's interesting to see that you don't think the lives of National Guardsmen and women are valuable when there are a tremendous portion of them that are African American. You refer to the Ukraine. We don't have troops on the ground in Ukraine.
No, we have strike force groups in Ukraine.
You talk about
special ops in Ukraine.
The Middle East, we've had troops on the ground for decades now. Those are not white countries.
And that was for oil.
And it is horrifying how many Americans have died. You also seem to not have noticed that the Biden administration is seeking billions in dollars of aid for Haiti. We have sent billions of dollars in aid over the years. The Clinton Foundation, they got billions. The Clintons got billions of dollars. Let me fix my tie at this absurdity. Billions of dollars. What the hell did they do, right? You know, it's interesting that we have this new culture of sending in San Francisco. $1.4 billion goes to nonprofits, and yet where is the end to the homeless? That's every year, right? We have sent billions of dollars to Haiti. The only thing we should be worried about with Haiti right now, right, is what we should be worried about is all the Republicans are clamoring to not let, those are actual refugees fleeing war. And what we need to do, instead of just not letting them come, or letting them all come with no checks or balances,
and
so
Governor
we have immigrants.
DeSantis said just today how he was going to stop it.
Right. What we should be doing is vetting the people, making sure we've got women and children seeking a new life, family men seeking a new life, people that aren't involved in there is cannibalism going over there, these gangs. It's horrible. And we shouldn't make those people stay there.
But the Republicans don't want black people coming in.
Okay, I get that you all want
Let's be honest. They don't want them Negroes coming in.
The only thing we shouldn't want in America are violent criminals, right? I have always been just outspokenly pro-immigration, both Afro-Caribbean and Central and Latin America, and it's a horror story. In Jamaica, I have some friends in Jamaica, African-based, Afro-Caribbean friends that could never get the visa so they could come lawfully to this country, right? And, to come here and work and chase that dream. Now we live in America where we welcome all the criminals and we don't deport them if they come here and commit more crime, as opposed to welcoming those that want to come here and work hard and
So you don't believe that troops should be sent to Haiti to restore the president to power?
I don't think American lives should be lost. Black, white, brown, Asian, whatever, for wars on foreign soil. If we want to give
So you really believe
humanitarian aid,
that some street gangs is that powerful, they're going to be killing American soldiers like that if we send them into Haiti?
How many billions of dollars how many trillions of dollars must we spend on warmongering? I've been anti-war in the Middle East. I've been anti-war in Ukraine.
I agree.
And I'm look, we can
but if we are the champions of democracy
we're going bankrupt,
worldwide,
we're bankrupting American entitlement programs for Black America to give money all over the damn world and to bring people from foreign nations and give them entitlements while we don't do anything for Americans.
I say to the Biden administration, do a call out. Ask Black Army men and women, Marine men and women that are African American and Navy and Air Force.
You don't think white people
care? And ask them, are you willing to go? How many would volunteer to go to Haiti to help restore peace back in that country?
You don't think white people,
because see, I'm sick and tired of white government officials making a determination when Black soldiers go and fight for anything. Why don't they let us go fight for our own people? We've never been allowed to fight for our own people that look like us. We've had to fight those who white folks told us to fight.
Much like DJ Khaled, with your criticism of him on a prior show, I have not heard anything from you about the Christian missionaries that are being terrorized, raped, murdered, and killed in Haiti right now. They're Americans.
We weren't talking religion yet.
But you don't care.
But it's not Muslims killing them.
Care.
It's not Muslims killing them.
Well, what a nice
You know who's killing them?
Because all over the Middle East, it is in fact the radical Islamists.
It's crazy gang members and folks who believe in voodoo in Haiti.
But you don't care
about them. They're the ones doing that.
A lot of white people over there dying, and those white people were there helping people in Haiti.
And I totally agree.
They were there.
And that's
you just said you're tired of Whitey.
I said I'm tired of white government officials
you said you're tired of Whitey.
When we as Black people can fight and defend other Black people.
There are plenty of white American soldiers that would step forward to go to Haiti.
Well, then let's find out.
What I am tired
of is
Americans
let them go.
Dying all over this world and Americans dying here in America because we ain't got no damn public safety.
Black soldiers
we ain't got no damn public safety.
For centuries have fought all over the world for America and then come back to America and then we have equal rights.
Needs to start fighting for America. There are Black veterans in America
men and women
living on the streets,
to tell the government of America,
in neighborhoods
we're
that are
not going to fight
unsafe.
in no more wars if you don't show Black folk the same level of concern that you do other nations.
There are plenty of people that are concerned with Haiti. The Biden administration is wanting to send billions of dollars after billions of dollars.
But that's not going to work, Charles.
All you want to do is see
Charles,
more
the money
death.
never gets to the people,
love
Charles.
War. You got
the
Boeing
money
stock.
never gets to the people, Charles.
You got Raytheon stock.
Charles,
you love you some war.
Billions of dollars, if it go to Haiti, would never make it to the people.
Well, who's stealing it?
Hillary Clinton and the foundation.
The truth is, it's the leadership.
And her cronies.
It's the leadership
and corrupt
of
leadership.
Haiti. In fact, that's what we see throughout the world. We see it throughout Africa, throughout the Middle East. As Ron Paul said,
if the money go, how much the gangs get? How much will the gangs extract from it?
What foreign aid is poor people in a rich country, America, sending money to rich people in poor countries. That's what our foreign aid is. Well, you agree with me because I'm right. And we don't need American soldiers dying.
For one time you are.
I'm always right.
No,
all right? You just need to get with the program. We don't need American soldiers, Black
Gang
American
members
soldiers
shouldn't be allowed to take over
dying
our country,
in Haiti.
Charles.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
So I'll take you, Quanell, to College Park, Maryland, where Kayla Elise Carter served as a racial equity leader, and she was charged with the task of going through all systems and policies in College Park, Maryland, seeking to eliminate any systemic discrimination or just discrimination generally. And now it's come out that she was a frequent user of social media, like so many people are, but in her social media content, she was demanding burning America down. There was one that's getting a lot of attention that says, today I co-hosted an occupied space with dozens of people who have committed their lives, businesses, and money to Black liberation. On all days, every day, each day, light workers been planning for how we will eat and live and grow after we burn it all down. Now, her social media was covered with rhetoric that was very, very similar, and that would also call for any criticism of violence, of rioting, of criminality that was committed by African Americans she would criticize the criticism and suggest that people are entitled to it because of historical grievances. And I mean, at least it seemed to suggest it was because of some sort of historical grievance. And the truth is that we in municipalities, in cities, and government, our government does not need to employ people that want to destroy America. And we have so much of it, especially in people in these DEI positions that were created from the ether with very good purpose, right, to help eliminate discrimination. But most of those jobs were created in spaces where there wasn't much discrimination. And you have people advocating late stage capitalism. We need communism. We need socialism. We need race-based segregation, which has roared its way back from the 1950s. But now it's this new race-based where, oh, we can't have white people in the space because their mere presence is violence or danger. This woman needed to be fired. This woman needed to be outed, and we don't need to be celebrating anyone that is calling for anyone. Well, just like we don't need to celebrate white racists calling for violence directed at black people, or Latino racists calling for violence against white or black people. We most certainly don't need to employ in our government or celebrate people that want to call for violence generally against white people, as you love to do.
This young lady, I believe, is a very courageous young woman that her and other leaders and other activists decided to stand up and protest a system of injustice. And I would want to say to our young sister that Minister Malcolm X said, only a fool fights in a burning house. And I would say to our young sister that when we do riot in our communities, that's where we ride. We don't ride in white folk neighborhoods. We ride in our own community.
That's not
and
true.
we burn down our own community.
We haven't seen that.
And I would want to encourage my young sister that if we're talking about black liberation, we must also include the root of black liberation theology. Black liberation should be economic liberation for black people. Black liberation should be educational liberation for black people coming out of institutions that have been programmed our children with academic and educational white supremacy. Black liberation should be getting proper health care into the black community to deal with the many needs that we've had suffered as black people, because so many of us people, our people don't even trust doctors anymore because of situations like the Tuskegee experiment and others. But black liberation should never be burning down a country that we live in. If we're going to bring it down, destroy the theology and the mindset of white supremacy, but setting fire to America, we all live in this country together.
So when did the Tuskegee experiment occur?
That was in the 30s.
Okay, 1930s.
And it went on for 34
Okay.
years.
And when you talk about Malcolm X, when was he active?
In the 1960s.
Okay. And let's talk about the last 50 years in America. America has robustly embraced affirmative action since the 1970s. It has robustly embraced a end to segregation since the 1970s. And in fact, you know, I went to school in inner city. We were bussed all over the place to create racial harmony.
And it never happened.
It has done well. But majority white America implemented an overwhelming number of policies to try to make this an inclusive, color-free country.
And that's a lie.
What we've seen in the last 2 decades.
What the overwhelming number of white people did in America was put out pacifiers and Band-Aids to historical discrimination and racism against a people to make it appear like they were doing something different and better for black people.
Demands for new segregation, right, to exclude white people from things merely because of the color of their skin, to tell a new generation of white people that they should accept being pushed to the back of the line for admittance to universities, for jobs. In the last 4 years,
the present generation of white people have to understand the great benefits that they inherited collectively because of the evil that their ancestors and parents and grandparents did.
First of all, my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents.
I'm speaking of the ancestors of white people in this country.
No one in my lineage has
you realize
ever
that
owned
black
a slave
people
because
were punished in
most
America
white people were
up
poor
until
and didn't know anything.
2005 with
But
racism in banking,
in
home loans,
what you want is racism,
business
right?
loans.
What you want
Charles, it has never ended,
young
Charles.
white people born in this century,
not young white people, the entire country of white people,
you want white
to
people
acknowledge
to be
the truth of
stuff
what
that they
really
never
happened
did,
and what
they
was
should
done.
accept people like this woman arguing for burning America down, and I don't care if she is black, white, brown, whatever,
Charles,
right?
how
Anyone
many
condemning
years
America
did Germany pay
should-
reparations to Jewish people?
Okay.
How many
Again,
years?
Again, Quanell.
Even 50 years
Quanell,
later,
Quanell,
Jewish people,
I
if they
get-
discovered
I get-
economic
you know, it's interesting
riches
to me
that was taken
because
from
you
the
have
Holocaust and other
repeatedly told
Jews,
me
they were
that
allowed to
you
prosecute
aren't
and get that money back from other
pro-individual
nations.
reparations.
So
You
why
want
is this good for
reparations
Israelis to do it,
go to
but not black
entities
people?
like you
but not
run
black people.
to stick the
No,
money in
you're
your
wrong,
pocket,
brother.
right? You say you don't want
Reparations
it.
is
We
for
need better
everybody,
schools.
not
We
individuals.
need better school. You see this? It's for your pockets, Quanell.
Not
You
individuals.
don't want black people
No,
benefited. You
that's
want
where you
Quanell
want.
benefited.
That's what racist crackers
we need
want
more,
to say about
we need
black
more-
people and
we- No,
reparations.
I'm just saying it about you.
I don't believe in
We
individual
need more
checks.
public safety.
Give the
we
money
need better
to
schools.
all the black
We need
people.
more opportunity. What you want is the
Charles,
money to go to you and other
this
nonsense
young
organizations.
lady-
Instead, just like
this young
just
lady,
like Black Lives
you've never
Matter.
lived her reality. You've
you
never
know what?
lived her reality.
Black Lives Matter
But you-
hasn't done a
and
damn
I'm not a
thing
member of Black
for,
Lives
for
Matter.
black people
And I'm not
that
a member
were
of them.
oppressed by bad
But
police.
guess what,
They
though?
just bought mansions
But guess what, though?
and stuck the
White
money in
folks
their
are the
damn
same thing
pocket.
to black people.
And that's all you want
White folks are
because
the
you're a
same thing to
greedy
black people
racist.
for hundreds of
Okay.
years in this
Not
country.
me.
Academically
Not
and
me.
politically and banking.
No, you just because the color of my skin.
Charles, the truth is the truth.
On 35th Avenue in Oakland, large signs telling customers that the dining room is now closed. The same could be seen at this location on Hagenberger Road. Customers are being forced to order food through the drive-thru. Even this person who didn't have a car tried to order from the window because they weren't allowed inside. People who go to Taco Bell all the time say they're frustrated by this change.
People who are on the bus and stuff, they don't allow walk-ups. Yeah, it's not cool for people to not be able to go through the drive-thru or go into the dining room.
In this round, here's Quanell X.
Charles, it is heartbreaking and sad to see what is happening in Oakland, California. A number of businesses, the recent one, Taco Bell, has shut off access to the public to its lobbies. You can still use the drive-thru, but you can have access to the lobbies. And it's not just Taco Bell, it's Raising Cane's, is that what it's called, Cane's chicken strip franchise. But it's sad because we as African Americans for generations fought for these mainstream businesses to come and set up shop in the black community. But because we have allowed crime and city officials have ignored crime and they have weakened the laws to fight and punish crime, now the businesses that we fought to come into our community so we would not have food deserts are now shutting down and closing down because they don't feel safe. In fact, some of them, their insurance policies are so high through the roof just to maintain operations in the high crime areas of the black community, to where now some of them are saying economically we're losing money just being here. But we as black people have to hold ourselves accountable for not doing more collectively as a people to deal with the criminal element in our own community and to deal with weak-kneed, punctified politicians who are making the damn rules so soft for criminals to believe that they have safe havens in our community to do this type of damage. I'm not blaming no white folk to fix this problem. We as black people have to come together with our leadership and deal with our children and help these businesses recognize and feel that we value them in our community and we will help protect their establishments.
You know, initially, and this is a very serious topic, but I would like to say that no Taco Bell should exist without access to a Taco Bell toilet, right? I mean, I don't know if you eat Taco Bell, but there most certainly should be an accessible toilet. But this is really about classism, about public safety. You also have a lot of businesses that are no longer accepting cash, right? They're only wanting cards, which are incredibly discriminatory to the poor. You have businesses like these Taco Bells, they're in the longer portion of the interview, there is a drive-through, right? And in this drive-through, they're not allowing walk-up customers. So I have been talking for years about food deserts, pharmaceutical deserts, retail deserts, and then where other businesses swoop in and give an inferior product at a much higher price, usually to poor people of color. And you're seeing it in Walgreens. Walgreens pulling out of the Bay Area, Walgreens pulling out of portions of Boston, Massachusetts, and the response from the politicians is always the same. This is just racist capitalism, right? These are just racists, right? Ignoring the fact that corporate America has an incredible wave of diversity hiring, and they don't have any idea. They're just assuming, oh, white people racist, but people are tired of being robbed. But this is not Black America. Black America doesn't need to be held accountable. If you look at crime as a whole, like violent crime, murders, let's go murders. About 1.8% of the murders in America are about 1.8% of Black men have committed a murder, right? A much higher portion. It goes Asians at 0.00 something, white at point something, Latino. But that's still less than 98% of Black men. And so we should not condemn all of Black men because there's a larger, small, super small portion that are violent. We should only condemn the violent criminal scumbags and put them in prison.
But
and you have been arguing for years. Defund the police, restorative justice nonsense, condemning police for years. And the truth is, we need public safety for poor, law-abiding Black people. No,
I've always condemned racist cops.
You call
I've
all
always
cops
condemned
racist.
all cops are not racist.
Oh yeah,
but I've
that's
called
new.
out those cops.
You are the
who
problem,
are racist.
Quanell.
I've called out those cops who do use excessive force, who do brutalize. I've called out those cops
Quanell, you
who
have
use deadly force
policing.
when it's not necessary.
You have argued
But Charles,
for the abolition of prisons and the abolition of freezing.
I've never
and we
advocated
need
that.
to put bad people
Charles,
in jail again.
no.
Theft leads
The
to robbery,
problem in
robbery
the
leads
Black
to murder.
community
Put thieves
with
in
crime
jail, I don't care what
It's
color
going
they
to only
are.
be fixed by us. The problem
There
with
is
our
no
children
us, there is
not
a we.
going to school
Stop trying
in
to
the Black
divide the
community,
country by race.
we got to fix that. And let me say this to brothers and sisters. You listen to this man, but the suffering that's taking place in the Black community is by Black people against Black people. And we cannot say it's all of us, because white folk don't give a damn what we doing in the Black community about killing Black people.
How do you have the audacity
if white
to
folks
speak
cared,
for all white
they
people?
would do more to help stop the killing
you mean if
in the
white
Black
folks
community.
cared, they'd implement
We
affirmative
must care about
action,
ourselves.
they'd have robust welfare
We must care about
programs, and
ourselves.
the very suggestion, I'm sure there are plenty of white people that don't care
That don't
about
give a
poor
damn
people.
about what's happening in the Black community.
There are plenty of Black people that don't give a damn about white people. But there are plenty of
guess
Black
what,
people.
though?
Guess what? There are plenty of Black people
but why?
that care about white people, and plenty of white people that care about Black people.
We don't
and
see them in
plenty
the
of
hood.
people that
You don't
are
see them
racist,
white
but
folks in the
that's
hood.
not true.
You don't see them white folks in
There
the
are
hood.
tons of white
Charles,
people
let me
that
tell
get
you
up
something.
and go work in the hood. I
Charles,
worked in the hood,
Charles,
and I cared about every
Charles,
damn person
you are
there.
an individual.
Oh,
But the masses of white people don't want to live among Black people.
You're just being a racist.
No, Charles.
You sound
so you
like
telling
the
me that white
racist.
flight is not real?
Okay.
That white flight is not real? Because many of these Black neighborhoods were once historically white neighborhoods.
But I'm an
So
individual.
white flight is not real, Charles?
I'm an individual that lives in a crime-filled portion of the city of Houston, and you are a Black man that lives in a super safe suburb. So your flight doesn't
Charles,
count.
you haven't always lived in a Black community?
Stop talking.
You haven't always lived in a Black community?
I grew up in
You
one.
lived in a very rich neighborhood
I did.
yourself, raising your kids.
Oh, I did.
And
right?
after they went off
But
to
it
school,
wasn't white
then you
flight,
come back
it
to the
was
hood.
safety.
But you wanted to raise your family in a
come
safe
on.
environment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is my opponent has been an adversary of public safety for years. His interesting shift in tone suggests the dynamic and discussion in America is that we are finally getting incredibly fed up across the ideological spectrum, from Democrat to Republican, of law-abiding citizens suffering because of rampant crime. And white racists love to talk about the numbers of crime, to use that to condemn all Black people. They're racist. It's just like Quanell likes to condemn all white people, and then when giving an anecdote say, oh, well, that's individualism. The truth is we need to stop thinking about America as we versus us, or categories driven by something as stupid as skin color or orientation or eye color or hair color, whatever the thing idiot people come up with. And we need to start looking at collective solutions, not race-based solutions, but collective solutions that especially protect people who have lived in generational poverty, no matter what race they are, people that don't have access to educational opportunities, and people that are going to not have access to retail, food, pharmacies, because crime is crazy. It's time for a return to focusing on public safety, to abandoning other things and start looking at people as humans, not as races.
Brothers and sisters, we as black people cannot look for white people to fix the problems within the black community. We have the intelligentsia, we have the great minds, male and female, we have the scholarship, and we have the resources to fix the internal problems in our own community. White folks are not stopping us from uniting our dollars to build up the economic support of the black community like it once happened during segregation. But if we are going to look for someone else to do it for us, it's going to only get worse. We cannot look for somebody else to make sure our children are going to school on time and attending classes and behaving in classes. We cannot look for someone else to make sure our children are completing their homework assignments and we're checking on them. We got to do better as black people in our own community. We once did it that way. We got to get back to the way we were, not the way we are.
That's it for the Face-Off on Fox Soul. We'll catch you next time.